Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast. We are thrilled to have you joining us for another English lesson.
Hello, guys. It is fantastic to be here. Today, we have a highly requested topic, and it is something every single person in the world can relate to. We are talking about family.
But we're not just teaching you basic words like mother, father, and brother. Because this is a B2 level episode, we're going deeper. We're going to explore how native speakers really talk about their relatives, how we discuss family drama, and how we negotiate when we disagree with our siblings.
Exactly. Family conversations are unique. They're informal, sometimes emotional, and they're absolutely full of specific idioms and phrasal verbs. You'll hear expressions about personality traits, arguments, and making compromises.
To show you how this works, we're going to do a long, immersive role play. Today, we're playing a brother and a sister. We're meeting at a coffee shop to catch up on our lives and to plan a very important event, our parents' 40th wedding anniversary.
Planning a family event is never easy, so you can expect a little bit of sibling rivalry and a lot of gossip about our crazy relatives. Pay close attention to the idioms we use when we talk about our extended family. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's get into the role play. I am so glad we finally managed to get together. I feel like I haven't seen you in months. How have you been?
I know, it has been absolutely crazy lately. I'm doing well, just exhausted. The kids are keeping me on my toes. Sarah just turned 13, and she has suddenly become a teenager with a major attitude.
Oh, the teenage years. Good luck with that. Is she giving you a hard time?
You have no idea. She argues about everything. Her clothes, her bedtime, her homework. She's incredibly stubborn. Honestly, she takes after our grandmother. Grandma was exactly like that, always insisting on having the last word.
That is so true. Grandma never backed down from a debate. Well, it definitely runs in the family. You were pretty stubborn when we were teenagers too, if I remember correctly.
Excuse me? I was an angel. But enough about my kids. How are things with you? How was the new position at work?
It's going well, but it's a lot of pressure. Managing a team is completely different from just managing my own projects. I'm working late almost every night, but I'm slowly getting the hang of it. Anyway, I didn't ask you to meet me for coffee just to complain about work. We need to talk about Mom and Dad's anniversary.
Yes, their 40th wedding anniversary, the Ruby anniversary. It's a huge milestone, and we need to throw them a proper party. Have you thought about what we should do?
I have been thinking about it all week. I really think we should rent out the back room at that fancy Italian restaurant downtown, Il Gabbiano. They love Italian food, and the atmosphere there is incredibly elegant. We could have a formal sit-down dinner with a fixed menu.
Il Gabbiano? Are you serious? That place is ridiculously expensive. Furthermore, I don't think Mom and Dad actually want a stiff, formal dinner. They're much more relaxed nowadays. I was thinking we should do a big backyard barbecue at my house. We can hire a catering company so we don't have to cook, string up some fairy lights, and just have a relaxed afternoon.
A barbecue for a 40th anniversary? Come on, that feels way too cheap and casual. This is a once-in-a-lifetime event. They deserve to be treated to something luxurious. We can split the bill, so the cost shouldn't be an issue.
It's not just about the money, it's about the vibe. If we go to a fancy restaurant, people will be stuck in their chairs all night talking to the same two people next to them. If we have it in my garden, people can mingle, walk around, and the kids can play on the lawn.
I completely disagree. I think a garden party is too messy. What if it rains? We'd be ruined. It seems we really don't see eye to eye on this at all.
No, we don't, but we need to figure this out today because we need to send out the invitation soon. We have to find a compromise.
Okay, let's try to find some middle ground. What if we don't do the fancy restaurant, but we also don't do your backyard? What if we rent the pavilion at the botanical gardens? It's outdoors, so it has that relaxed nature vibe you want, but it's covered in case it rains. And we can hire a really nice buffet service. It's elegant, but not too stiff.
The botanical gardens. Actually, that's a brilliant idea. Mom loves flowers, and the pavilion is beautiful. It's the perfect compromise. I love it.
Great. I'll call them tomorrow morning to check their availability for the last weekend of next month. Now let's talk about the guest list. This is where things get complicated.
Tell me about it. Obviously, we're inviting all the immediate family, but what about the extended family? Are we inviting Cousin Leo?
Oh, Leo, the black sheep of the family. I haven't spoken to him since he dropped out of university to become a spiritual healer in Bali. Has he even moved back to the country?
Yes, he moved back a few months ago. He's living in a van near the beach now. I know he's a bit eccentric, but Mom really loves him. We have to invite him.
Fine, we'll invite Leo, but if he brings his guitar and tries to lead a meditation circle in the middle of the anniversary speech, I'm blaming you.
Deal. I'll keep an eye on him. Now we need to address the elephant in the room. Uncle Arthur.
Oh boy, Uncle Arthur. I was hoping we could just conveniently forget to send him an invitation.
We can't do that. He's Dad's brother.
I know he's Dad's brother, but they haven't spoken in 5 years. Ever since they had that massive falling out over the family business, things have been incredibly tense. Dad refuses to even mention his name.
I know the history. It was a terrible argument. Honestly, if they hadn't started that business together, they never would have fallen out. Mixing family and business is always a terrible idea.
Exactly. If Arthur had just listened to Dad's financial advice, the company wouldn't have gone bankrupt. But Arthur is too proud to apologize. Do you really think it's a good idea to put them in the same room? What if they start arguing and ruin the anniversary?
I've thought about that, but Mom told me secretly that Dad misses him. It's been 5 years. Life is too short to hold on to old grudges. Blood is thicker than water, after all. I think this party could be the perfect opportunity for them to finally bury the hatchet and make peace.
That is a huge risk, but you might be right. If we don't invite him, Dad might be secretly disappointed. And if we do invite him, maybe the happy atmosphere will force them to be polite to each other.
Exactly. And I'll personally call Uncle Arthur beforehand. I'll tell him how much it would mean to Mom and Dad if he came, and I'll strictly forbid him from talking about business or the past.
Good luck with that. You know how stubborn he is. I guess stubbornness really does run in our family.
It certainly does. Okay, so Arthur is on the list. What about Aunt Martha?
We have to invite Aunt Martha, but I'm warning you, she's going to complain about the food. She always complains about the food. Last Thanksgiving, she told me my turkey was as dry as the Sahara Desert.
I remember that. Well, she can complain all she wants. We're hiring a professional catering company, so if she insults the food, she's insulting the chef, not us.
True. Okay, so we have the venue, we have the guest list, and we have a rough idea for the food. Now we need to talk about a gift. What do you buy for a couple who has been married for 40 years and already has everything they need?
I was thinking we could put together a photo album, a really high-quality, custom-made book. We can collect old photos from their wedding, pictures of us growing up, family vacations, and pictures of the grandchildren. We can write little memories next to each photo.
That is a really beautiful idea. It's sentimental and personal. I love it. I have a whole box of old photographs in my attic. I can scan them this weekend.
Perfect. And maybe we can also chip in and buy them a weekend getaway, a couple of nights at a nice spa hotel, so they can relax after the party.
Yes, let's do that. We can split the cost of the party and the hotel 50-50. I'll start looking at some spa resorts online tonight.
Awesome. I feel so much better now that we have a plan.
Me too, but we make a good team when we actually agree on things.
We do. Now finish your coffee. We have a lot of work to do.
And we're out of character. That was a fantastic conversation. It felt so real, didn't it?
It really did. Family dynamics are complex, and planning an event with a sibling always requires some negotiation. We used a lot of advanced vocabulary in that roleplay.
We certainly did. Let's break down some of the key expressions and grammar structures so our listeners can start using them in their own family conversations.
Let's start with the phrasal verb I used right at the beginning when I was talking about my teenage daughter. I said, she takes after our grandmother.
To take after someone is a classic B2 phrasal verb. It means to resemble an older member of your family in appearance or in character. It's very specific to family members.
Exactly. You cannot say you take after your best friend. You can only take after a parent, a grandparent, or an older relative. In the story, my daughter has the same stubborn personality as my grandmother, so she takes after her. You might take after your father because you both have blue eyes, or because you both love playing the piano.
Later in the conversation, we had a disagreement about the party venue. I wanted a restaurant, and you wanted a garden. I said, we really don't see eye to eye on this.
To see eye to eye is a fantastic idiom. It simply means to agree with someone. If you do not see eye to eye, it means you have different opinions and you disagree.
It's a very polite way to express a disagreement. Instead of saying, you're wrong,
You can say, we don't really see eye to eye on this topic. It shows respect while acknowledging the difference of opinion. Then we moved on to the guest list, and we talked about cousin Leo. You called him the black sheep of the family.
Every family has one. The black sheep is an idiom used to describe a member of a family or a group who is different from the rest, often in a way that the others disapprove of. They might have a very alternative lifestyle, or they might be the only one who didn't go to university.
In our story, Leo dropped out of school to live in a van and be a spiritual healer. Because the rest of the family is probably very traditional, his unusual choices make him the black sheep. It is not always a terrible thing, but it means you are the odd one out.
Now let's talk about Uncle Arthur. We said that he and Dad had a massive falling out 5 years ago.
The phrasal verb is to fall out with someone. It means to have a serious argument that damages your relationship, often resulting in you not speaking to each other anymore.
It is much stronger than just a normal argument. If you fall out with your brother, it implies a long period of anger or silence. As a noun, you can say they had a falling out.
And while we were discussing Uncle Arthur, we used a very important advanced grammar structure. I said, if they hadn't started the business together, they never would have fallen out.
This is the third conditional. We use the third conditional to talk about the unreal past. We are imagining a situation in the past that did not happen and imagining the result.
The structure is if plus past perfect, would have plus past participle. If they hadn't started the business, but they did start the business, they wouldn't have fallen out, but they did fall out.
It is perfect for expressing regrets or analyzing past mistakes. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. It shows a high level of fluency when you can use this structure naturally in a conversation.
Finally, we decided to invite Uncle Arthur because blood is thicker than water.
This is a very old and famous proverb. It means that family relationships, blood, are the strongest and most important ones, stronger than friendships or business relationships, water. Even if you are angry with a family member, you still love them because they're family.
It is a beautiful sentiment to end our explanation on. You have learned take after, see eye to eye, black sheep, fall out, and the third conditional. Your English is going to sound incredibly natural.
Now it's time for our quick review. We're going to practice speaking. We're going to say the key sentences from today's lesson, and we want you to repeat them out loud. Focus on the pronunciation in the rhythm. Ready?
Listen and repeat after us.
My daughter takes after my grandmother.
We don't see eye to eye on politics.
He is the black sheep of the family.
They fell out over a business deal.
If he had listened, he wouldn't have lost the money.
Blood is thicker than water.
Great job. Speaking out loud is crucial for moving from a B1 to a B2 level. And now it's time for your challenge. We want you to practice your writing in the comments section on YouTube.
Your challenge question today is, who do you take after in your family and why? Do you have your mother's smile? Do you have your grandfather's sense of humor?
Write a few sentences in the comments below using the phrasal verb take after. For example, I take after my dad because we both love cooking. We can't wait to read your stories.
That brings us to the end of today's family drama episode. We hope you enjoyed the role play and learned some valuable expressions.
If you found this lesson helpful, please give the video a thumbs up. It really supports our channel and helps the YouTube algorithm show our lessons to more English learners around the world.
And make sure you are subscribed with the notification bell turned on so you never miss our weekly advanced English lessons.
Thank you so much for listening, practicing, and improving your English with us today. Have a wonderful week with your families, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone. Take care.